Morning, everyone. It's John. I'm coming at you with the new segment called Not So Slim Stories. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about myself, and so you guys can get to know me. It's been a little harder to get videos out on my end, so I thought this would be a little easier just so you guys can get some content, random ass gameplay from me while I tell a story about myself. The first story I want to talk about is how me and Eric met. So I met Eric first in middle school. So for those of you who are from the States, that's about like 6th grade. For those of you out of the States and like other countries, that's about when we're like 10 or 11. So I had just transferred into our school. We were at a charter school, so it's like a low income school, but it's supposed to focus more on the students. It was bullshit. And I had seen him around school. We had classes together, but we really never like talked. And then I still remember that one day I was late for school, so I was like trying to cross the street, but I guess I crossed at a bad time. I didn't see this lady, but this lady didn't see me, obviously, so I got hit by a car. At the age of 11, I was hit by a car, whatever. I recover, I'm allowed to go back to school after a few months, and I'm in a wheelchair, but the school only has one elevator that broke down very often, and they had to assign someone to, help me up and down the stairs, but no one really wanted to volunteer again, or mainly because, I wasn't the skinniest kid, so, Eric was really like the last person to say that he'll volunteer, but that's really because he was the only one that they asked because everyone said no, and he was the last one. So that's how I got to meet Eric. I'm not gonna deny that I wasn't the nicest kid, but I also felt like I wasn't the meanest. But I still remember that a lot of the times, as kids, I used to make a lot of racist jokes, and at the time, it didn't feel like it was bad because, Eric wouldn't say anything aside from the times where I would get really bad with my jokes. But that's how we met, through me getting hit by a car and through racist, not racist, but like, at the time, not so innocent jokes for a kid. But as time went on, he left the school. Comes the next year, we all get changed to a different building, and I still remember he decided to come back for reasons I don't remember, but we were in class together and we were partners for our reading class, or like our English class. We were partners for our English class, and I remember the stapler was right next to me. I was so bored, I started shooting staples at Eric's afro, and at the time he had a decently big afro, so I'm like, it's gonna get stuck in there, he's gonna find a surprise when he showers, whatever, haha. So I start shooting staples in his hair. He tells me to stop, but dumbass me, I don't stop, and I just keep doing it. So then he starts finding staples all over his hair, on his papers, on his book. He's like, dude, I said fucking stop. I'm like, okay, fine. I finally stopped, and then he tells me later that day, or later the next day, that apparently a staple had fell into his shoe and he didn't know, and he stepped on it. So the whole day he was walking home and he felt a pain in his shoe, but he just kept walking and walking. And he said finally when he got home it hurt so much he took off his shoe, took off his sock because it was bloody, and apparently a staple had lodged itself into his foot. And he, like, just all the weight and walking just shoved it in further. So in my head, when he told me that, I'm like, dude, like, pain, you should probably stop and check the first second you feel it. That's probably not good. So then he tells me that his mom was all mad and wanted to find out who did it, and he didn't want to get me in trouble, so he blamed it on someone else. I don't remember exactly who he blamed it on, but that was pretty funny. In high school, so I want to say about 9th or 10th grade, that's what, 14, 15 years old for us. I remember that we had this is around the time where I was finally getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! So I was learning all like, what card packs to open, what cards to look for. I was building my own very first deck. And so sometimes I would save up money, and then Eric and a few of us friends would go to like card shops to go buy booster packs and stuff like that, so we would just look at the cards. And I still remember that there was one day, I think I got lucky and I had bought the last pack for a certain set. I just don't remember which one it was, but I think I had pulled Ghost Rare card. So a Ghost Rare card is a card that it's all silverish, like it looks like a ghost, like it's silvery, like everything. And then after that, I had opened another card, and it was Gold Rare. And a Gold Rare card is where like the trim of the card or the border of the card is like gold, and then the border of the art is gold, and sometimes they even have gold borders around like the monsters inside, like the art for the monsters. The lettering is gold, and it looks really nice. Both cards look really nice. And I remember Eric was freaking out. He's like, dude, how the fuck do you have such good luck? And I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. I'm just lucky. And so ever since that day, you know, he says I have extremely good luck, but then I feel like I have shit luck. Like the other, like just yesterday, actually, I fucked up my car bumper. Yeah, I hit a pole. I was not lucky, and then my job's trying to screw me over. It's fucking bad. Okay, so that's enough about me and Eric. Something that I can tell you guys about myself. As you guys already know, my name is Jonathan, but call me John, please. I prefer that. John or Flack, one of those two. Flak. Reason for that is just like a username that I've been using since like forever. I don't know why, but it just stuck with me. Something about myself, I like to cook. I'm like Eric, I like to cook. I'm not the best, but I'm also not the worst. If I had to say, Eric is more, gourmet foods, and I'm more like experimental foods. I feel like the way I cook is similar to how I am in person. I'm very spontaneous. I like to try new things. I like to see what works and what doesn't. And I think that really says a lot about who I am as a person. So yeah, I like to cook. I like to try new things. I remember there was a recipe that I just got really curious about. I'm like, I wonder if this works. It was a chicken Alfredo pasta with chorizo. For those of you who don't, I think it's like ground pork, but it's supposed to be kind of spicy because the seasoning's in it and all the oil. And I mixed that together, and it was really good. It's like a spicy Alfredo pasta. Don't get me wrong though, it doesn't work on your stomach. That thing will give you the shit. But it was good nonetheless. So yeah, I like to cook. I really like to write. One of my dreams actually is one day to become an author. You know, I have been working on a story. I actually put it aside for who knows how many years. I don't know why, but I've put it aside for a lot of years. It's just I really liked where I went with my story, but I kind of also got bored of it at the same time, and I don't think that's good, but I also don't think that's bad, because that gives me room to think about what I want to do next with it or what I want to do after. So it was just that. And then yeah, so I wanted to be a writer. I still do, but right now what I'm working towards is being a teacher, an English teacher. My train of thought was, you know, if I can't follow my dream of being a writer, if it's gonna take me a while, why not help others, you know, pursue their dream, people who do like to write. One of my other main reasons for wanting to be a writer, being a teacher, was back in high school. I had a really close friend of mine try to, you know, commit unbirth, and it kind of stuck with me in a way that I felt like, you know, I felt like I could have helped my friend a lot more. I considered him a really good friend. I don't know if he considered me a good friend at the time, but I felt like I could have really helped him, at least, you know, to talk things out or help him process everything. But, you know, at the same time, I don't know how it would have been because I didn't talk to him. And so I started thinking, you know, maybe I can be a teacher to help people. And the way that works is I'm going to school currently to be an English teacher for creative writing. And it was like, if I can teach students to express themselves through their writing, maybe they'll be comfortable to write about what's going on. I'm not gonna force them to write about it, but maybe they will. And then it's also like, I know a person's writing is affected through how they feel at the time, and I can say that from experience. I know personally, I like to write stories when I'm emotional. If I'm sad at the time, I'll probably write like a sad story or a romantic tragedy. If I'm super happy or excited, I'll write something funny, even if it's like a short story or like a few sentences. I'll write depending on how I feel, and it usually affects the tone of the story. And so my train of thought was, if I can start a creative writing class or even an after school program that's like a creative writing thing, I can probably but I can hopefully have a student write a certain way, and hopefully I'm like instinctually or perceptive enough to find out or see that something's going on based on how their story is, and maybe I can pull them aside and ask them if everything's okay. I understand they won't talk to me, but sometimes writing can be an outlet for people, and I want to give people that opportunity, an outlet. I want to give people an outlet. I want to give kids an outlet, something where they can go to relieve some of that stress or, express themselves a little bit. And that way, we can just so I can help people. I want to help people get over like the problems. I know it's not a perfect plan. I know it's not going to work for everyone, but every person that I do help, not even every person I do help, I just want to help people in any way that I can. Let's see. Another thing. Going back to the writing thing about me wanting to be an author. I have a few genres I actually like to write about, and it's weird because when I tell people the genres, they don't expect it. They're like, "Oh, we think you're like this so and so genre." No. Okay, so first of all, I do like action genres. I like action, sci-fi, fantasy genres. Don't get me wrong. I fucking like anime too, so it plays a big part. But my little side genres that I personally like to write are romantic tragedies. I don't know why, but I like to see or imagine a relationship just falling apart, but in like the saddest way possible. It can still be like a happy relationship, but I don't know what it is about seeing a significant character who's in love with another character just die, kind of like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, but also not similar to that, if that makes sense. My favorite video game, aside from Pokemon, I want to say is probably Skyrim. I've had easily almost 4,000 hours put into Skyrim across all consoles. So, yeah, I'm not saying I'm proud of it, but I'm not also saying I'm not. So, do with that what you will. But anyways, that's a little bit about me, guys. I'm gonna have more coming out. If I'll think of stuff to talk about, this is just to get some videos out, and it's to just so you guys can get to know me a little bit. I know you know more Eric, but I'm not the kind of person that likes to show my face unless I need to. So if I ever stream and there's no camera, then apologies for that, but I'm not comfortable with that yet. As for Eric, I love him and I hope he keeps ripping his shirt on stream, but yeah, I'm not gonna be doing that. As for the channel, thanks for sticking around. I know we're not consistently bringing out videos, but we try our best. And yeah, just keep supporting us in any way you can. Any kind of support is helpful. Anyways, thanks for sticking by and listening to me, and hope you have a nice day. Later.